Intergalactic beings of multi-dimensional realities. Welcome to Channeling.
Gwen, it's wonderful to be with you.
It's wonderful to be with you, dear twin of mine. This is my twin, Grace.
Hello.
And Grace is here upon my request because my guides and some new specific guides have asked for me to share in a certain way. And that way is in how I enter vision and journeying. And so we will be having an experience of vision and journeying today. And this was all inspired through the Sophia Code and the Sophia Dragons. And me and Grace walking through the book, experiencing several initiations directly from and through the book, and several initiations simply that were waiting for us to open to. And I have yet to do the last section of the book. Grace has finished, and I know that something big happened because Grace was texting me this morning saying, "Can you give me a massage?"
Well, that's one of the reasons. I've also been doing a lot of work outside, so that's another one of the reasons. But no, yeah, it's every single one of these experiences in the book have been unique, invaluable. And I feel for me, I'm going to go back and go through them again. And yeah, that last one. Oh, that was something else, Gwen. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Well, I have a feeling that we might be coming on again after that because so much recognition has opened within me as I walked through the initiations in the book. And I think we could easily spend an hour and a half, 3 hours, 4 hours really talking about the beauty of the openings that can occur as one goes through that book and into the initiations. And I appreciate your courage, Grace, because Grace is usually the one saying, "Gwen, slow down. Don't go through that book quite so fast, or don't go through those initiations quite so fast."
Well, I did at one point, but yes, then I got moving, and I'm like, I got to get through this. I've got to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how things work. For me, I think one area that I spent a lot of time with was Gwen Yin, because I already have this beautiful, deep, connective experience with her, and also with my Buffalo woman. And so both of these are very tender, and I have had so many years of experience being with some of these teachings already, but it was beautiful opening in new ways. So today, I wanted to just really quickly talk about vision and journeying for people. And there's a lot of ways that people do that. Some people tend to want to take some kind of medicine when they do so. And that's perfectly normal and fine. Something I encourage people to recognize, though, is that oftentimes, especially if you don't have a lot of experience of entering into journeying, that when you take a substance, sometimes what you open up to is the lower astral planes. And look, there's nothing per se wrong about that, but what you're entering into is you're seeing perhaps the makeup of things, the intelligence within things, but also this is an area where a lot of spirits who haven't really recognized themselves in the light hang out. There's a lot of
Yes.
other entities. There's a lot of fairy creatures. There's a lot of mischievous creatures that hang out sometimes in these spaces.
Yes.
So you being aware of that, just really making sure that you know the intent of what you're doing, and the people around you can help guide you and walk you through your experience to help connect it to the enlightenment of yourself. And so for some reason, I am bringing up this point for those of you who are going through these journeys and you're not feeling like anything is shifting. You're feeling like maybe you're going into the hells of what you are, but you're not figuring out a way out. It's not helping resolve. You're not bringing yourself into a space of love and light. And so if that's occurring with you, I want you to be aware of that and to look for and ask your highest self to guide you to a few people or one person or a group who can be supportive in helping you see into walking the transcendence into the light and experiencing the transformation that can occur instead of you reliving hells over and over again.
Yeah. When I first started having journeys, experiences, my first experiences actually were when I was taking Spravato. And there was some really amazing moments, but also some terrifying moments as well. And people who are struggling in life may look towards journeys or other kinds of substances to use to help them break free from whatever it is that they're struggling with. And I would encourage them to really focus on their intention and practice their intention in a whole new way. When you're going through a journey or a process, sometimes it can be quite extensive. It can be quite long. Say, for instance, if you're going through an ayahuasca experience. But it's critical that when you are having an experience like that, that your focus is on what you want to achieve, what the end result is, where you want to go with your life, a vision that actually brings light and love and relief to you. And these processes can help you hone in on your ability to focus in that way. It is not something that people can easily do. And it's something that people need to learn how to do and practice doing. So having someone guiding you through a meditation, guiding you through a journey can be really helpful in assisting you in wetting your feet, per se, in that arena in a safe way, in a way that is helpful. But also it helps you learn how to guide your ability to focus and create what you wish to create.
I'm
would say that.
loving what you're sharing, Grace, because my heart is getting so tender right now, and I'm feeling so much emotion surrounding this because I'm just thinking to the playbook that we've created together, and I'm just,
Yes.
oh wow, this is when I get to talk about it because there's a reason for it. And it's called a playbook. It's called The Seed. Anyone look at The Seed, and you can look up Gwen Juvenal. And it's a playbook. We call it a playbook because, well, me and my guides call it a playbook because really, as we look on entering into the expansiveness of what is, we get to be versatile. We get to be flexible. We get to see our agility. And that's what play is this agility and this ability to step from one viewpoint to another, to see it from a different perspective, to be in a different world, and then recognize your soul and where it is and where this body is, and being able to identify where you get to go next. And all of those things, it's a delicate play. It's a delicate play, but this playbook gives you tools and practices so that you can enter into these spaces in more confidence. As you practice them, you can enter in and you don't need to fear, am I going to get lost? Am I
Yeah,
going to
I
find
think
myself again? Where is my strength? Am I protected? What am I? How do I use energy? How can I use energy to bolster myself? All of these different things. And within those practices, they are also this sense of inner journeying. It's almost like your inner journeying, if I could say it.
yeah.
And you're getting the practice that will help you, and not only just the practice, but some foundational views that will help you feel comfortable and be
Yeah.
able to handle different situations that you encounter when you open up. For me, right now in my life, I journey all the time. I mean, it's just happening all of the time.
It it is, Gwen, and I just have to reiterate, that's very unusual. Most people aren't doing that, by the way. But I do have to say, one of the key things that is discussed and that comes up within, I think, both of the books actually, is the idea and the recognition that you are in control.
That's right.
You get to say what's happening. No one that you encounter, no experience that you encounter gets to dictate to you. You get to say yes or no, or I wish to go this way or that way, or no. You know what I mean? You have sovereignty, and it is critical for people to know this and to understand this and how that works, because you have the physical body. Yay. Hallelujah. You're the one that has the physical body, and you're the one that gets to say what's going on.
Yeah.
You really do. And of course, everyone has different things that they need to learn and to understand, and they need to go through different processes and so forth. And sometimes, guess what? It can feel really yucky. But you're the one ultimately that gets to say what's going on, and that you want to go through this because at the end, there's a certain thing that you wish to accomplish.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I like that. I love what you're bringing up, because this is a part of what my guides brought to me and said I get to share today in vision. Some stuff surrounding this very thing that you spoke of. Because when we talk about authority, what's really happening here on this earth is we're getting to shed the idea that someone is making things happen in our lives and that someone is forcing us. We are enslaved. And as we really, really step into the owning of our sovereignty, we can see things in a totally different way. And it's like when we don't feel connected and in oneness and wholeness, we're here trying to grab power. We're trying to grab ways that we can feel powerful. And that becomes the fight. That becomes the war. We're trying to actually grab a hold of our wholeness and feel the power that we truly are. Yet we're playing it out in a three-dimensional way where we're feeling the lack, and we get to come to a point where we step out of it, step aside, and experience ourself as our wholeness, and then use that to inform our world. We then thus inform our world in our actions, in us bringing that energy out into what we're experiencing now. And I feel like this is a big process that we're all going through right now. We're being encouraged, we're being challenged, and each one of us is going through that process in our unique ways. You know, we're alchemizing and we're overcoming certain thought patterns, certain ideas, certain ways that we were brought up or thought we had to live within the world. And I want to encourage all of us. I see that we're all in this path together. There's, you know, to me, this is where compassion comes in. Compassion comes in because we see that we're all in this together. We're all doing this. We're all trying to figure it out together.
Yeah. I think one of the incredible things about the book, The Sophia Code, is that she talks a lot about forgiving and self-forgiving and having compassion and connecting with that compassion. And I think that that's a critical part in the healing process. For me, it is. For me, it has been, and I continue to go through that process. This has been a very deep, deep journey for me. And there's still more to go.
Yeah.
There's still more. There's still more for me to discover and understand and to grow in. And it has been a very challenging journey for me, to say the least. And I've appreciated having you around, Gwen, to remind me, to encourage me. And I think that there are so many beautiful people out there who want to do the same, and that it is our choice to be able to find those people who we connect with in the right way that really can help us and can be of assistance to us. And it's a beautiful thing that we can figure this out together.
Right.
And it's a little bit messy sometimes, but it's a good thing that we get to figure this out together.
Yeah. Well, Grace, you know, it's been my honor to be able to be by your side. You know, we have our whole history of what we walked through, and me being able to be there and assist you when those horrendous things got to come back. You know, you get to be able to face them and see them. And I'm just so, you know, there's almost a little sense of pride that I was able to be strong enough and ready, and that was able to occur. You know, it's to me, it's a part of our story of love. It's a part of my story of love. It's a part of your story of love. And, you know, all the many years that I've walked through and the experiences that I've had, and me being able to then be there for you when you opened up to so much of all that you are. And this has been fairly recently in your life. And
a couple of years.
Yeah. And I just, I want to honor you for the gigantic maturation, the gigantic awareness that you've opened to in such a short amount of time. It's just amazing. And we know why. I know the amazing, just fabulous, extraordinary, you know, being that you are, because I'm so connected. And there is a plan that more and more you and I are opening to, an understanding of why we got to come down together. You know, some of the specifics of why we are connected in the way we are, and what we get to do together. And we're opening more and more to that. So if anyone doesn't know, together we have been identified. It's called the Temperament Twins, and you can find us online. We do logoses, we do medicine journeys and other things together. But today, I think I'm feeling it's time to step into this experience that came through White Buffalo Woman after the initiations that occurred in the book, The Sophia Code. And I also just want to extend my gratitude to all those who helped bring through the Sophia Code and offer blessings and thanks for that book. And perhaps many of you who watch this, if you have not experienced the initiations, perhaps something in your heart will say, it's time now. I think this is ready for me. Or I think I'm ready for this.
Yes. These are deep initiations. Mm-hmm. They are beautiful and unique. And I would encourage people, if they so feel, an interest, to take a look at it. I would say this is high quality stuff. And if you're interested in journeys, these are beautiful.
Yeah, and that's something that's so sweet, is that these initiations, you enter into vision with them, which is just like so dear to my heart. I mean, this is kind of how I work and live. It's so strong in me. So that's something that I loved. And I have so much more to express about this book, but I think that you and I, again, will come together and we'll talk about this, because there's so much that's opening and discovering with me about what my dragon is. And I mean, I could go on and on and on, but right now I'm feeling called to be brought back into the awareness of this this experience that I'm about to share with you. And Grayson is here in love and support. And so I'm asking for anyone who is here who wants to enter into journey. If you are using any kind of equipment, stop and find yourself in a relaxed space. Go ahead and make sure you have some water near you for hydration, and make sure that you're just comfortable. And
I would suggest that you make sure that you're in a private space where you can focus on what is going on. If you get pulled out, you're not gonna be happy with that.
Yeah. Of course, this is a recording, and so you can enter back in, but it's always beautiful, because when you open that connection in your heart and your divine soul, it's the opportunity. It's good to take advantage of it when you can. So I'm going to encourage all of you to take 3 deep breaths, and we're going to pull up a song that Grace and I recorded just recently with a dear friend, Cora Jam. Cora Jam. And she is an amazing musician, healer, and she works with sound bowls. And so we're going to be using that during this. And of course, I'll have her on Welcome to Channeling here soon. But we're going to be using this song during part of it. So I invite you to relax, to take 3 deep breaths in and out. And I'm going to slowly bring you into this experience.
Gwen, turn down the background song a little bit before we start. There we go.
Grace wants it turned down. Okay. All right. I'm going to start by reading from my journal yesterday and the promptings that they told me to enter in with you guys. So this is how we're going to enter today. It's going to be unique. But first of all, I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths and allow yourself to feel yourself softly, softly, softly drift down, down, down. You're going to be drifting down into a space. It may seem dark. It may seem friendly. Maybe this is a specific spot in your garden, your world of creativeness. Go ahead and feel yourself drift down, down, down. And as you do, these words from my guides be speaking to you, and we will enter into these ways together. We are here. Do not sorrow that you do not know how to do what you desire at this moment. Celebrate that you feel the answer to the prayer, the question that you ask. And within the question itself comes a relief, pure faith, and confidence within each breath. Step after step, open heart, listening, and being guided. We are here in love with you. I invite you now to see yourself on the plains, and this white buffalo woman is in front of you, or she was in front of me. A white buffalo woman approached me and offered me a white buffalo skin. As I put it on, I questioned, why? Why was I the one receiving it? And she told me that I was one of those who had offered themselves in this way. As I placed it on, I also felt a crown, a golden crown being placed upon my head. It had different points, horns, or feathers on it. I couldn't tell how many, but as I felt it around the crown of my head, I felt it turning clockwise. And as it turned and rotated, I felt like it was opening my head. It was rising and lifting. And it was allowing me to see a new space, a space of heaven, a new space of awareness, a sphere of awareness where those who are assigned to watch over us do so. Breathe deeply as you feel this in your body. If you are not able to see this, breathe deeply and simply understand and know that all you are here to receive will be received. vision, I turned, and I saw those who were here on this realm. I arose out of my body, and I joined them. They were two female entities. They glanced at me quickly, but then they looked down upon a vision they were viewing. It was a vision playing on earth, a scene, story. On the earth, I was watching a battle between tribes, and there was a great man, a very great man. He had a great eagle feather in his hair, and he looked and felt larger than all those around him. He was in the middle of battle, and he was slain, pierced in his ribs, near his heart. And as I saw him die, there were different parts of his body that were removed as a token of power to those people who had overcome him. They took different parts of his body, and the rest of his body was burnt and offered up back to the oneness. As I saw this occur, I felt the entity of this great holy man come into the sphere where I was. He joined me and these other two women looking down upon the earth and what they saw. As we looked down, my heart was touched. I saw how these people, these men, these warriors had taken these pieces of this holy man and they were using them to claim their authority and their power, for they felt the power within these parts of this being, and there was true power there. And this power was then being ignited through this holy man here. And as it was being toned, it was asking for these men to offer it up to the oneness. Offer it up to the oneness. There were few who did, and those who did not, what occurred was what were further battles for power, many dark entities. Some of them fought and won, seeing into the light that they truly are. Others were brought into the darkness and swept away. I watched as this was occurring and I asked if this could end. And the holy man said, it was almost over. And what I was seeing was a story of compassion, a story of compassion being played out. It was us needing to learn to let go of the power that we perceive others have. These are the words that are channeled now. This is the medicine we bring you now. We encourage you to share this with all and expose how many are cheating themselves of knowing their true greatness. There are many steps into this realization, but we may reach out with our voice and our hands as we walk forward and rise together. We ask for all to drink from the chalice of peace, a stabilizing mercury, a teleportation experience of being whole and complete. We ask you to lay down on a bed, get comfortable, and when the time is right, we will guide Gwen and this experience for you all to share. We leave this blessing in peace, knowing that Gwen is a chosen vessel, offering herself as the word for the freeing and alchemization of all here. We thank you for your presence. We enter now. Please breathe with me as I connect into this vision that we will all enter into. In this space, this deep space that you all are in right now. Take 3 nice, sweet breaths. And as you breathe in, allow yourself to imagine and see the life that is here. Simply say, what is here for me to see and be with now? Do not concern yourself if what I describe is different from what you see. We are all in practice of vision, but I ask you to breathe with me and connect in with the vision that is here. For what is arising within my vision is a tree, a beautiful tree that is before us. Imagine yourself sitting up and rising and looking onto the tree that is here. In this space, this deep space that we are, I see the life of the tree, even though it is dark. I see the outlines and the life of the tree, the movement of life force. Breathe deeply and see into the beauty and the movement of life force. The center of this tree, a column, the feet, the roots extending down deep into a life force that is indescribable. And its branches spreading out wide into into what is felt as another space. Feel the essence of your branches and what they touch into. These two spaces are neither bad or good. There are many who try to identify them as such. They are simply a part of our wholeness, a part of you. And you, as this tree, is the opportunity to experience yourself in this life. Breathe and look into the life, the core light of you as this tree. Where is it? Do you feel this light near the root? Do you feel it at the center? Wherever you feel it is perfect. For ultimately, once this tree was a seed, and this tree is always a seed of perfect light, a seed of perfect divinity, one seed of all that is. The presence of all that is being here and now. As you look upon this tree, understand and feel its presence within you. For as we vision, even though we seem to believe it is in front of us, it is really the projection of what is within. Take 3 deep breaths, feeling this beauty, this light of you as the seed within you now. As you breathe, you may imagine yourself blowing a sweet, loving breath into it, into yourself. You may breathe in 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. Even as you're breathing out, imagine you're breathing a sweet breath of love into yourself. How does that feel? Let's do that again together. Breathing in. Even as you breathe in, you may feel the sense of expansion within you as the seed. Breathing in. And breathing out, let's blow this beautiful, sweet, loving air right into you. Imagine yourself doing so. What happens when you do so? When I do so, I hear a giggle. I feel the excitement, like, oh, it's being seen, it's being known, it's being heard. Here in this space, sit again and now invite this seed to speak. We invite it to speak of what its excitement is, of what it has experienced in the past, and perhaps even what its potential is. Whatever the message is that it shares with you today, know that we are in an experience that is one step at a time. And ultimately, you are all of this. And even while in your physical body, you go looking, it is all here. And as you are with all that is here, when you go looking, what you simply are doing is finding new ways of expressing your wholeness. Be with this statement for a moment. These are some thoughts that may shift your world in a new way. For within this seed, even though all is possible, you in this lifetime are the one assisting and dedicating what the experience is. And so, as we are here with you as the seed, you get to honor you not only are the seed, but the one holding it and caring for it. We do not say this in any kind of retribution, but as an acknowledgement for you to claim all that you are. For you are not just the seed as you see it that you hold, but you are in an infinity, an ever-expanding experience, continuing to expand and expand and expand. The one you, as holding the seed, is also the seed. And this continues on and on and on and on. This is the infinite expression, the infinite expansion, and you directing your attention and investment in this lifetime is the ever bringing yourself back to oneness in form. Both occur at the same time, and this is what godliness is. And you are godliness. Feel and breathe, allowing your experience of your godliness to be felt throughout your whole body and system. Feel the expanse of all that you are and the beauty and the opportunity this life affords you. Your mind may want to find some way of understanding this. And you may be feeling like, if my mind is activated, then I've lost all here. No, dear one. This experience is ever present, and at this moment has marked a new way, a new path in your life. And we tell this to your mind that tells yourself that it must have this great dramatic story of pain, of grief. We now touch this mind story, this way that you have focused your attention to continue to feel enslaved. And now we touch into this mind and we say, there is another way. And we invite you into your true bliss, the bliss of being receptive. You being a receptive part of this system and allowing the true light and contentment of all that you are to be felt and brought into the body. We free you from the enslavement you thought you had to continue. For now you see, it has all been here. And you, this mind, will be taught and shown all that is here. And as you work with the other aspects of you as a mechanism, including your heart, including your speech, including your walk, including your hands and what you offer, you will be crowned. This is no simple and silly thing, but we invite you into the presence of all that you are now, and we invite you to sink into the sensation of your wholeness beyond what the mind's idea says it must be. Breathe and be. This is ultimate peace. This is the chalice of peace. This is you claiming yourself as the chalice of peace. Feel yourself as a chalice, you as a container, a gold container. And you hold peace. This is our victory now. There is no authority to search for. It is all here. It is all here. It is all here. We offer this to you and invite you to return at any moment you desire. Know that we are always here for you and that all is well and you are cared for. We ask you to take a few more deep breaths And allow this peace to continue being felt within you. As you come back into your body, feel this peace running through your body, energetically informing you. As you feel into this informing of peace in your body, you then will come to understand that you may inform your world also. This is another part of that expansive experience that is occurring at all times. You are the one simply creating the separation. Allow yourself to expand out into your world. And as you walk, you bring the presence of peace. You are informing the world of peace, of its wholeness, that it may set down the struggle and war, that it may simply lie in a bed of peace, and that compassion and love may simply flow through us, through it, through all. Yes, feel that sensation. This is what revelation is. It is being revealed. A world of peace is being revealed. We ask you to bring your thoughts and your attention to the center of you, the seed that you are, and hold it in comfort. It may have a message for you. Take a moment to listen. But as you listen, offer it and let it know that you now are the chalice of peace, and you hold it in peace, and you will bloom together. Listen and breathe. Listen and breathe. United as one. And breathe. Invite yourself to feel yourself coming back into your body, feeling the straightness of your spine. You as a light directly connected, ever flowing, ever one. Bring your attention back now. And slowly bring yourself back. I'm going to open this mic and see if Grace has anything to share from her.
Hey, Gwen.
Hello. I never know what's going to happen, and that was just beautiful.
That was wonderful. I really appreciate your guides addressing the power within, addressing the source from within.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to get caught up in wanting power from others or seeing others and what they have and getting caught up in it reminds me of like a a little rat or mouse or something that's sitting on one of those wheels you're chasing, or a rabbit or something that's got a carrot in front of it and it's just trying so hard to reach it. It's like
Exactly.
and it's and no and the point is that when you focus on that, you can't see the power you have within.
Yeah.
Because your vision is somewhere else. When you started, I did see this tree, but I also saw a dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I saw a dragon that had its heart ripped out and its intestines ripped out. It was still powerful, but it was like, I can't go anywhere. It was that sort of a feeling. And it was a feeling of just being wounded.
Yeah.
Right. And envisioning that tree and envisioning that chalice and being able to breathe into not only my seed, but also into the dragon in love.
Yeah.
Is a very healing thing. So I think people might have more than one thing that they are envisioning as they go through the process. And that's fine. They can connect together. They can inform each other. And it can be a beautiful experience. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to turn out the way you described it.
Absolutely. One thing with journeying is all of these things are symbols that we work with. It's a symbol of medicine. It's a symbol of knowledge. It's a symbol of intelligence. It's a symbol of an offering. And my language will be different from another person's language, and so on and so forth. I mean, I've experienced, being brought into different journeys, and then experience another teacher and going, oh, that's how they were brought into it. I mean, it's going to be particular to everyone. And I love how you brought up the dragon, because as I was with it, I could feel there were other things there. But for me, I knew what I was directing was this experience of knowing oneself and finding that themselves and experiencing themselves as the seed and the chalice of peace, that we can feel that and be that for ourselves.
I thought that the chalice was quite powerful in allowing us to receive, and how important that is, and giving us practice in receiving and being in that space, and how healing that can be.
Nice. I love that. Well, I want to thank my guides for being here and helping support me in that. When I had this writing up, I didn't follow it exactly, but this was what occurred with me yesterday, and them encouraging me to share with people. And I can tell when they're telling me, I mean, they were just blatant. We will now lead you into blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. That I got to share it with people. And what's been so interesting is that, as I record Welcome to Channeling, oftentimes I'm weeks ahead in my recording. And as I was preparing to come to the end of this season, they were telling me that 2 spots needed to be kept open. And I was like, okay, I wonder what's going to go in there. But it kept on, what I was trying to place in there wasn't happening. And I think this was one of those things that got to happen. And I'm so pleased that I can share with people my work and what I do and when I enter in. And we have a few things out for people to enjoy like this that are journeys, but more are coming. And one of the nudges that I got yesterday was getting out another one that we have in the works called the Scout. Grace and I have worked with the Indigenous much in the last 3 years. And it's been something so dear to my heart. And when we talk about the Sophia Code, I think I'll bring up a few things that have occurred that I just think are magical and just delight me. It's just like, oh, there's this giddy beauty about it, and the coincidence of when things unfold and how they unfold, and how I suddenly see into something and recognize what it is, and just really enjoying that. And what I'm feeling before I go is that I get to share with people that I am on Discord, but I do offer journeying with people. And if you are interested in that, it can be in a group or an individual setting. And it doesn't always look specifically like it did today. There may be some specific unravelings that I do with people, or blocks that I help to unwind, in certain ways in their life. But this was just one of the ways that it looks. And I'm inviting anyone who feels curious or feels inspired to contact me and see what that might look like for you. Grace and I, in the area that we live in, we do different, we offer different experiences. We're part of a group called Holistic Harmony, and we do sound bath healing and other things and other events. So if you want to really be in touch with us and find out what we do, or you want to find those books that we talked about, the first one is Our New Story, which was the first one that I channeled. And it talks about the seed, and it talks about us wearing our masks and the kind of play that we're on in Earth and the stories. And then the seed, also it being the playbook that is in support. I am writing 2 more playbooks. I'm writing other books that continue on the development of what's expressed here, but I think those are the things that I wanted to share. At the end of this, there will be a link, and you can also get a beautiful soul play experience.
And it is a beautiful soul play experience. It's a great introduction into becoming familiar with yourself, your inner self. And so I would encourage everyone to experience that, and not just once, but several times. Each time, depending upon what's going on with your life, where you were at, the experience is going to be different. And it's not too long. It's a beautiful introduction way for people to start feeling comfortable with journeying and doing that sort of thing. Also, I wanted to point out another really great way to kind of dip your toe in, and that is you have your morning meditations, Welcome the Morning.
Yes.
And it's another thing that we offer. You can go onto Hot Muffin Media and go into the store and be able to purchase all of the different things that are there. But I would suggest you listen to some of those to get an idea. I think that that's a powerful thing, is to start out the morning with, a great experience. And some of them are, 6 minutes or so, and some are 15 minutes, So there's a variety of experiences that are available there, and they can be quite powerful.
Yeah, one particularly that I always enjoy, even though all of them are great, is the Blooming reboot, because it's kind of like it's a mini journey in and of itself, and it's just really, really powerful and beautiful experience. So yeah, I think we're encouraging everyone to connect in. We have so much that we've created, and I think now is kind of the leg of kind of reaching out to the world. We're kind of in that saying, look at what we're doing. One thing I also wanted to mention is that we also have our Soul Play Live channel on YouTube, and it's got all kinds of different soul play, different series of different videos, and it's a live play also 24/7. There's a live video playing, which is constantly in loop, and we have over probably 23 hours of content in it, always looping, and that changes in and out all the time. So if you're sitting in a space and you're like, I could use something to help me understand and ground and be in my sovereignty for a little while. I feel like I need something. If you feel called, jump into soul play, because it's there for you, and that's why it was created. We created it, and I created with a prayer that, I may be asleep, but someone somewhere in the world, ooh, this is getting me emotional, as may get to hear something, and it will be there for them. It will be able to answer a question that they have, will be able to assist them in touching back into their divinity, even in a dark space, when they're in a dark space, and to maybe get an answer to a question that they were asking. So that is part of my offering to the world, and a part of
We're very
Grace's offering.
pleased to be able to offer these things to people. Our wish, our dream is to be able to help people have the support they need to continue on their journey in a more powerful and loving way, with more light, with more understanding. And we wish this for everyone.
Yeah. Amen. Thank you, Grace, for being here with me. And thank you all who have stuck with us and watched and been with us here today on this episode of Welcome to Channeling.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Make sure, as you go about your day, make sure to, sit up slowly, come back to yourself slowly, drink plenty of water. And when you have a moment, if you want to sit down and journal about maybe what you heard from within you, maybe there's some anguish that you as the seed felt, and maybe you felt a difference as you offered it peace. And you can sit down and say, I'm here and willing. I'm going to offer you this peace. I'm going to offer you this peace today, and I'm going to offer it again tomorrow, and I'm going to offer it next week. And being in this sense of how can I say it? Self-acknowledgement and commitment. Write down whatever that simple thing is that you now feel is shifting and changing. It may even be, now I see that I don't have to be so afraid of blah, 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 blah. And I can embrace it more fully. That's something that's so beautiful for you to write down. And it's not only it assists you in recognizing, but it also is almost a part of a self-commitment. It's an affirmation, Now I see that. Before I experienced this, going through this experience of experiencing myself as the chalice of peace, now what's opening to me is this. And now I see this. And then the last question that I love to ask, which helps people move forward, is the question, now I'm excited too. Right?
Yes, that is a great one. And I suggest if people want to respond or share even part of what they're excited to or excited to experience now, please share it. We would love to hear.
Yes.
I got an answer when we were in the journey, and I recognized, oh, wow, this is my chance to really connect with all of myself in all the different dimensions and so much more that's there waiting for me that I felt separate from. And this is an incredible opportunity for me to reconnect and really understand all of myself and the power that's waiting there for me. And it's not a 1-step or a 2-step, it's a journey.
It is.
But I get to have that in my physical body, and that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's an exciting thing. So,
Yay! I love that.
yeah.
And it can just get deeper and deeper and more beautiful as we ease into it and just open and say, yes, I know this is me. And now I have eyes to see, and I'll continue seeing, and I'll continue seeing, and I'll continue being, and I'll continue doing, because we have a physical body. Let's celebrate. All right. I love that. Thank you all for being here with me. Thank you for this beautiful experience. And feel free to reach out to me. All my contact information will be down below. And check out Hot Muffin Media. We are here for you. And blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Welcome to Channeling. Till the next episode, own your stage and play on. Hot Muffin Media.